All right. We are also live on YouTube now. So, starting up Instagram, we're going to talk about chakra energy centers, how you're able to reprogram your subconscious mind by reprogramming your energy centers. It's very, very important to understand that. So I'm just about to go live on Instagram as well. And today's session will be much shorter than usual because I have a very, very tight schedule today. So you can continue watching here on YouTube, or you can also join. If you want to participate and be chosen for the live scan, then you need to be on Instagram, which is at healandmanifest.com. Okay, so we're going to launch Instagram, get some more Highland Spring. Cheers. Oh, okay, so what are energy centers? Energy centers are basically, think of energy centers as little brains throughout your body. And each one of these brains has programs. So I'm going to give it just a couple minutes for people to join. So as people are joining, if you decide that you want to have a remote viewing of your subconscious mind to help you unlock something that you feel like has been lingering, you have no idea what it is, I can help you unlock that. So what I do is I remotely view, I tune into your subconscious mind, and I view to see what is it that is keeping you stuck. So I'm going to give it a little more time for more people to join on Instagram, and you can submit your questions and then I will pin them so that I remember. So YouTube is going as well, but if you're joining on Instagram, that's where you're able to get a remote scan done. So I will give it a couple more minutes and I will start describing the chakra energy centers, starting with the root chakra, the color red. So got all the colors. We have the solar plexus, hence why I'm wearing yellow. So if you hear people talking about opening up their heart, and they give you all these exercises to open up your heart, and if you still have resistance to open up your heart, then what you need to do is to heal the lower chakra energy centers first, starting with the root chakra. So you heal the root chakra energy center at the base of your spine, and then you move up. So if you don't feel safe and grounded in your base lower chakra energy centers, you're not going to feel safe to open your heart. So yes, your heart is the main energy center. It is you could say, the so-called engine that helps you connect your higher self, your soul, to this physical body, this physical vessel avatar that you are embodying in order to have this human experience. However, if you've experienced betrayal, if you have a hard time trusting, which comes from betrayal, right? If you have such a big block in your heart, then it's going to be very difficult for you to just go, okay, yeah, I'm going to open my heart. So what I do is I help you tune in to the root cause. What is the root cause that is creating the program of distrust? What is the root cause that is making you feel like you have to test people, making you feel like that you're unworthy of love? Well, guess what? That program, unworthiness of love, is literally, I would say, that is something that every single human experiences. I've worked with clients who not only had a hard time with intimate relationships, but they also didn't fully trust themselves. Now, when you look at their childhood, you see that they had a perfect childhood, beautiful parents, nothing traumatic happened. However, when I scanned his subconscious mind, I saw that in another dimension of time, he was actually abused by his father. So because he was abused by his father, he carried on in this other dimension of time. He carried on this program of trauma into this existence. So this is why we need to do inner child healing. But most of the time, if not all of the time, that's not where it ends. And sometimes it's not even where it starts. Some people have so much trauma in their childhood that they actually create a mental block. They create a mental block so that they don't remember because it was so traumatic that they don't remember. They don't want to remember to protect themselves. And the moment memories come up, it becomes so uncomfortable that they'll do anything and everything possible to numb down those memories via drinking, overworking, working out too much, sleeping around, just as many distractions. It could just be mindless scrolling, binge watching TV episodes, Netflix, right after you came home from work, keeping themselves so busy. I even know people that are constantly taking part in family functions. You know, their friends are getting married, so they're constantly attending baby showers, bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, weddings. But deep down, they still feel lonely. They feel alone. Now, there is a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. You can be alone and not feel lonely. You can be alone and not feel lonely. So I'm just going to keep giving whatever information is meant to come through. And for anyone who would like to get the remote scan, just comment heart emojis in the comment box, and I will do the remote viewing for you and help you unblock. What are these programs? Where did they come from? Do you have a blockage in the root chakra? It is kind of hot, so this is helpful. Do you have a blockage in the root chakra energy center? Do you have a blockage in the sacral chakra energy center? Do you have a blockage in your solar plexus? Is this why you're keeping your heart guarded? And is this why you have a hard time speaking your truth? Throat chakra. So because you have a hard time speaking your truth and because your lower chakras are blocked, you have a hard time trusting your intuition. This is purple for your third eye chakra energy center. And because you have a hard time trusting your intuition and you feel disconnected from your lower chakras and your heart is closed, you are not connected to source. This is for your crown chakra, pink energy center, right above your head. And because you are disconnected from source, you are also disconnected from your higher self, your soul chakra, your subconscious. You can call it the subconscious. So you could, in a way, the subconscious is your soul because it doesn't understand time and carries all the programs. But your soul also has the superconscious, which knows everything that is good for you. And the subconscious carries all the trauma from all generations of time. So if you do not do the healing work to heal all of this, you are not going to feel safe and you are not going to be able to fully open your heart to receiving. Now, I am being called to posting this live that I just did on Instagram to my page. And I'm going to start another live because I did start late. So some people probably got confused. So I'm being energetically, intuitively called to starting a second live. So that way people know we are actually live. So I'm going to go ahead and post this. And if you're watching this and it's around this time frame when I posted this, most likely I'm still live. So just go to my profile circle highlight and click on it and you'll see it's going live. So I'm going to end this and start a new one. So just join the new one. I'm going to post this in my stories. I'm getting dehydrated. So just come back. Whoever just came on, just come back to the new one. So I'll see you shortly there. Okay. Okay, so here on YouTube, we're still going. So I'm just reposting on Instagram. Part 1, go to my live story for part 2 happening now. Sometimes things just happen the way they do. Okay, here we go. Oh, I should probably indicate that it's at healandmanifest.com. So thank you for your patience to my story at heal. What is my page? I should know my own page. Heal and manifest.com. Okay, so thank you for your patience on YouTube. I'm not going to edit this video. I'm just going to keep it rolling. And I know I didn't announce it, but I am announcing it now. So I always believe there are reasons beyond our comprehension. I always forget that the camera's right there. Because I have 2 cameras going, right? So there is always a reason for delay. So I'm posting this and I'm going to start a new one. And I got stuck in the rain, hence why I'm late. That's okay. And who else are we tagging? I'm just tagging to make sure. Maximum collaborators. I guess you can't have more than 5. That's good. Good to know. Okay. Here we go. We are starting again. Okay. Woo. Let's do this. It is hot in Scotland. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to start live number 2. Here we go. Okay, so what are energy centers? Energy centers are basically, think of energy centers as little brains throughout your body. And each one of these. We're starting. I just make sure I was playing. All right, so I'm gonna actually, no, I'll just keep rolling it on this one. That's fine. We don't need to have it perfect. We'll keep it rolling on this one. Here we go. Going live again. Again. Fuzzies everywhere. So we're going live. We're on Instagram now. Starting with root chakra. Okay. Welcome. I've got my fan because it's hot, but it's also because I want to dive deeper into talking about all the possibilities of you not being aware of what is exactly blocking you. So why do I have this in my hand? So when I say blocking you, you may not feel like it's blocking you, but if there is any kind of a negative belief program that is running your life right now, so if you have a hard time trusting, if you don't feel worthy, if you start something but you don't finish, if you don't feel safe in your own body, if you don't feel safe where you live, if you feel like you don't belong, if you feel like you're out of balance, if you have leg injuries, if you have knee injuries, if you hurt your foot, low back pain, mid back pain, any of these issues stem from your root chakra energy center, the red color. So when you see the rainbow, the rainbow is the reflection of the Earth's chakra energy center. So chakras. So chakra energy centers. That's what I meant to say. So there are main 8 centers. Of course, we could say there are main 12, but in the human body, we focus on the main 8. Those are the integral ones that you need to heal. So starting with the root chakra, we work on healing your root chakra so that you can feel safe being in this body. You can feel present, you can feel connected, and you know that you belong here. If you do not heal your root chakra energy center, you're not going to be able to heal anything else. So in my 8 chakras course, we start the entire course with healing your root chakra energy center. So when you heal that part of you, which carries all these programs that I just mentioned, then everything else becomes easier. And you'll be able to sit easier because you won't have low back pain if you happen to have low back pain. And then we move into healing your sacral chakra, which is the color orange, as I showed in the previous video. So the sacral chakra addresses your ability to have healthy boundaries, your ability to be able to really, truly, unconditionally, genuinely, and compassionately have love for yourself and your inner child. So what does that look like? That's not just buying nice things for yourself or getting your nails done for women or going on trips and holidays, etc. Those are all nice, but really focusing on inner love more so than needing to be validated externally. So when you truly love yourself, you become your own parent and you realize and understand that it is no one else's job to love you except you. As long as you place the responsibility of loving, being loved, experiencing love, and feeling safe on anyone else except yourself, you are going to continue sabotaging every relationship you're in. So, by the way, for anyone watching on YouTube, if you would like me to remotely view your subconscious mind, I didn't put this in the comment section of YouTube, but you can, if you choose to, if you would like me to tune into your subconscious mind to remotely view to see what is it that's keeping you stuck, what unhealthy program is keeping you stuck, then you can join and hop on Instagram, because on Instagram is where I can bring you on live with me so that I can actually tune in. So what happens when you are told by someone who's able to do something like this what is going on in your subconscious? Once you understand what is going on in your subconscious, so number one, you want to bring awareness to what program is running your subconscious. Once you bring awareness to that, then number two, you want to learn the reason. So for example, if I remotely view you and I find out that you don't trust people, that's a big one for a lot of people. You don't trust people. So then my job is to find out why. Because it's easy to say, well, I live my life like this because I don't trust. I don't trust. So if you don't trust, then what's going to happen? Your heart chakra, the green. Do you like these, by the way? I got these in Spain. I literally bought like so many fans. Welcome. I see some familiar faces joining on Instagram. So what happens if you don't trust? You cannot all of a sudden heal just that surface level belief. It doesn't feel like a surface level belief because you're like, well, it's trust. It seems like it's a core belief. It is not a core belief. Trust, lack of trust, is a result of something else. What caused you to lose trust in people, in humans, in women, in men, in yourself, in life? What caused you to lose trust? I was betrayed. Goosebumps, goosebumps. Who betrayed you? Well, guess what? I worked with people who were never betrayed in this life, but they still still feel like they've been betrayed. Why is that? No one's ever betrayed them in this life, but they still feel betrayed. I see some of you just hopped on over on Instagram. So if you would like to have a remote viewing of your subconscious mind, comment in the comment section. Let me just write it in. Comment with a heart emoji. Heart emoji. If you'd like, I know I'm doing this on Monday. I've never ever done this on a Monday. I'm just testing it because I was going to do it yesterday, Sunday, but for some reason I was called to doing it on Monday. If you'd like to have, and by the way, we don't have that much time left, so if you do want the remote scan, let me know. If you'd like to have a remote viewing of your subconscious mind. And I'm such a powerful manifester that I literally said maybe today is meant to be more of a teaching video, and I won't have time to do the remote viewing. But you know what? We'll see. Your subconscious mind and help you heal. Okay. So, and this is important to remember. Any thought that you give enough attention and energy to will manifest. And if you're really tapped and tuned in, it's going to manifest super fast. So if you notice yourself having a thought that is not a pleasant thought, you need to delete that thought as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Because if you don't delete it, like, what does that mean, delete? I'm not a computer, Anna. What do you mean delete? Delete meaning like, I don't believe this. This is just an old story. It doesn't have to be this way. It can be another way. It doesn't have to be this way. It's okay to let go of the old story. I'm going to create a new story. Just like I'm being called to starting yet another Instagram Live because it is Monday. So people are at work and I want to repost this once again. So in the next part 3, what is the saying? 3 times the charm. So we're going to start a 3rd Instagram Live now. So I should have copied and pasted this part. It's okay. All right, here we go. So YouTube, you can still stay with me. I'm going to keep this rolling. Once again, I manifested to just do some instructional stuff today and not actually do a remote viewing because I have a lot of packing to do and still cleaning and I have to run to the store. So here we go. So this will be part 2 on Instagram. Let's see. Part 2. Okay. That one looks like I am asleep. Okay. You know how you post a video on Instagram and you, part 2, need to select a cover and some of the images literally look like you're sleeping. Part 2, go to my live story for part 3. Okay, here we go. I don't usually do this the day before I travel, but I just decided to do it. Here we go. We're not going to tag anyone. Has programs. So, okay, here we go. Part 1 and part 2. So anyone else on YouTube, once again, if you would like to have the remote viewing, you can hop on over on Instagram, or you can comment to be chosen next time. I promise I'll never do them on Monday. I promise I'll never do another Monday again. Monday's not a good day for IG Live. But you know what? I feel like someone is meant to see this message. Why isn't this working? Here we go. Let's go live again. We are going live. It is now 10:44 PST in California, 144. Here we go. 144 stands for 144,000 souls that came to help upgrade. Okay, I'm going to, let's see. I feel like this would be easier too if I'm not. Okay, here we go. Thank you for your patience. We're going live for the third time on Instagram. Hello and welcome again. Deja Vu Day, Groundhog's Day. We're having session number 3, and we're going to keep this one short. So anyone who would like to have their subconscious mind viewed, comment with a heart emoji, and I'm going to do that. So I am now going to talk about, so if you'd like, I'm going to put this in the comment box here. Comment with a heart emoji if you would like to come on live with me so I can help you unblock anything that is keeping you stuck in life so that you can align with more abundance and love. Why do I always put abundance and love into one sentence? Because, and you could say, well, Anna, there are many people who are abundant and wealthy, but they still don't have love in their life. I understand that, but to be truly abundant isn't just associated with finances. Okay, to be truly abundant is to also be fully in alignment and to have your heart open. And when your heart is open, abundance is just natural. Because there are some people who go, I'm happy, my heart is open, but yet they're broke. But yet they feel guilty to be earning money. And so a lot of healers have that program. So in order to dissolve those unhealthy programs, we need to find out where they started from. Because if at some point in any existence of whatever timeline you've experienced, if at some point you were punished for trying to help people, then what's going to happen is that you're going to feel guilty and you're going to be afraid to show your gifts. You're not going to feel safe to show your gifts, and you're going to feel intimidated. So anyone on YouTube, feel free to comment if you can relate to this. Have you had any kind of recurring dreams where you constantly feel like you're seeing the same story play out and you're not sure why? Whenever there's a dream that is repeating, it's because it is urging you to look at something. So when you are asleep, your brain is in the theta brainwave. It's in the subconscious state. So when you're in the subconscious state, you are not just seeing things. You're actually tapping into other realities of time. And if you keep tapping into the same reality of time, that merely means that you need to learn something still that you have not been willing to learn. So if there's something that you have been resisting in your life, if there's an old story that is repeating, then you will see it play out in your dreams. If you don't remember your dreams, that means you're spending too much time being distracted in the left brain pattern. So the left brain, the beta frequency, it's a higher frequency. It is keeping you looping based on the egoic stories of your mind. This happened. It must happen again. It will probably happen again. It's going to keep repeating because it's always happened this way. So because it's always happened this way, you are now creating that reality. You're bringing the past into the future, and you are now expecting the past to play out again. And because it is so important to your ego to be right, for your ego to be right, what are words? This happens when I'm just going and all of a sudden I'm using the wrong words. What are words? It's more about energy. So what happens is it is so important for your ego to feel right, because feeling right and being right means that you are in control. And as long as you are in control, you are what? Feeling safe. And as long as you feel safe, then you're in control. And as long as you're in control. So do you see this toxic looping cycle? And this is why it is hard for you to trust. So anyone new joining, just comment with a heart emoji if you would like me to remotely view your subconscious mind for remote viewing of your mind. Here we go. Well, it is, once again, it is Monday, but we are trying something new. Here we go. So I may do another one this coming week since I picked such a bad day, Monday. But once again, I put it in my head that I don't want to go over a certain time limit, and that's why I am going to end it shortly. But I wanted to keep this on YouTube, so I will repost this on my page on YouTube, and I will post part 3 on this page as well, so you can watch it. So go ahead and comment if you would like to have, but keep in mind, if you do want to, then I will bring you on live with me. So you have to feel comfortable with that. Okay. All right. So, and if you do have any questions, you can submit your questions as well. So let's talk about the third eye. So third eye, purple is the color. So as I was talking about earlier, I believe it was part 1 or part 2. When you see the rainbow, that is the reflection of the earth chakra energy centers. So the earth itself is a living, breathing being, Mother Earth. And we are occupying it. We are aligning with its frequency. And when we are not in alignment with the Earth's frequency, we feel out of place. This is why it's important to ground and to be able to walk barefoot, to be able to connect, to be around nature. And so when you see the rainbow, you see all these different colors. You have the same colors within your body, not literally, but energetically. And certain frequencies mirror that particular. So for example, frequency that mirrors the solar plexus, if you hear that frequency in your external world, that will mirror your solar plexus. If you want to heal your heart, then there's a frequency that matches your heart. All of these frequencies and all of these, what are they called? Yeah, I mean, they're frequencies. So downloading a certain frequency. So for example, if I pick up that someone has a blockage in their heart chakra, then what I will do is download a healing frequency from the 6th plane of existence to heal the heart. So anyone new joining, I'm still running it on YouTube, but if you would like to have your subconscious mind remotely viewed so I can help you unblock anything that is keeping you blocked, just comment with a heart emoji. Of course, this does involve you being fully vulnerable and being able to surrender and not worry about being judged. So if you are ready to do that, you can do so. If not, you can comment on this repost so that I will keep you in mind for next time. So going back to the Earth's energy centers, we are all mirroring our environment. We're mirroring our environment. We are mirroring the people around us, and everyone that comes into our life is here to teach us. So there are lessons all around us. It is up to us to decide if we are going to learn or if we are going to react. Sometimes both can happen. You react and then you realize, no, you are actually being given an opportunity to learn. So what does that mean? Something uncomfortable happens and you want to react. You want to shut down. You want to yell. You're angry. You feel resistance. You want to numb down. Whatever comes up, it is natural. So you want to allow yourself to take the space, to create that space for yourself so that you're not reacting right away. However, if you say, well, I wasn't able to take it because it's right there in front of me and I'm reacting and I said something I didn't mean, that's okay. At any time, you can still take a deep breath, tune in, and ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? Okay, this is bringing up an old wound that I'm extremely uncomfortable with. Because every time this old wound gets poked, it makes me feel unsafe. It reminds me of the time when my parents or my school teacher or my boss or my ex said this to me. And every time I hear this, it hurts. And I don't want to be hurt. And not only does it hurt, but it makes me feel ashamed. And because it makes me feel ashamed, I just want to go into hiding. I don't know how to react to feeling ashamed except to get angry. And eventually, over time, when you keep reacting this way, it becomes your coping mechanism. Distractions, shutting down, numbing down, all of these things become your coping mechanism that you keep repeating over and over and over and over. And until you get tired of it, most humans may not even realize that's what's happening. So it's up to you to say, you know what? I understand. So first you have to name it and say, okay, where do I feel it in my body? Number one. Oh, I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my gut. It really hurts for me to feel this. So you ask yourself, where do I feel it in my body? Why does this person trigger so much within me? Why does it hurt to listen and not react? Why do I keep going back to the past? Why do I keep recreating an old wound? Why is everyone making me want to go into hiding? Why am I not being my authentic self? Why do I keep wearing a mask just to be accepted? What am I actually doing? So instead of pretending that you are okay, you know how people go, just change the story. You can, but you have to understand most of the advices that are out there isn't for everybody. It is for everybody at some point, but you may not be at that point yet to get that advice. You may still need to keep repeating the suffering a few more cycles. You may be addicted to suffering. So, anyone new joining on Instagram, if you comment a heart emoji, I will read your mind, subconscious mind remotely. You will need to come on live with me, and I will help you release whatever's blocking you. So I'll remotely tune into your subconscious. You can ask me questions as well. You can put a question in the comment box. So the goal is here to help you figure out what subconscious block is keeping you stuck in repeating and looping an old pattern and keeping you from aligning to your most abundant, joyous, loving, present, grateful, blissful, all the good. What is it that's keeping you from aligning to the highest version of you? What is keeping you from your highest potential? What is keeping you from speaking your truth fully and completely? What is it that you may not even be aware of because it's lingering? You may have seen signs. You listen to reels, you read books, you hear podcasts, and things resonate. And you keep saving all these reels and videos. Yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. I can relate to this. But you never actually do the work to release the root cause. So here on this Instagram Live, I can help you do that. Tune into your root cause that created whatever blockage. So if you don't feel worthy, why? Why don't you feel worthy? What is it that is keeping you stuck in this old pattern so that you keep recreating stories? Your ego keeps going, so we're not worthy. So let's find people in our lives who are going to reflect that belief back to us. So if you don't feel worthy, you're going to keep attracting people who make you feel unworthy so that you can be validated. And as long as you are validated, you feel safe because, this is, you tell yourself, this is familiar. And I know this. And as long as it's familiar, it's safe. Even though your soul keeps nudging you, knocking on your on your conscious mind whenever you have that awareness, like literally trying to wake you up. Hey, you are worthy of love, and there is something for you to look at. But your ego keeps going, no, no, no. This is unfamiliar. I'm afraid to heal. I'm afraid to look at my shadow because I'm afraid to see what's going to come up. And I'm afraid to be seen. So the number one thing to do when you're afraid to be seen is to, once again, find out what is it that is causing you to disconnect from your true self. What is it that is causing you to feel unworthy? What happened? Was it something in your childhood? Did you not feel like you could fully express yourself and be vulnerable with your dad or with your mom or both parents? Or did you have a sibling that was constantly putting you down? What was going on? How is my, oh, that's my alarm. I set an alarm for how long I told myself to do the live for. So anyone, by the way, new joining on Instagram, I'm still running the YouTube. If you're joining on Instagram, just read my pinned comment. And if that resonates, then comment with a heart emoji. I still have, I'll give it a few more minutes. So to wrap up this, it's not really a lesson. I mean, everything we hear can be a lesson if we choose, right? For example, I was walking on the street, very busy part of Edinburgh, Scotland, for those of you who don't know. And I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing. I was eating chocolate. That's like a big no-no for me, especially since I'm on the Lion's diet. So I was eating chocolate and I was just kind of in my own world having this chocolate bar. And there was this man walking towards me. His hair was dyed like in some kind of a blue color. He was kind of limping. He had a cane with him and he was walking and he was looking right at me. And I had been having thoughts like how oh my gosh, I'm done with Scotland. I really need to leave Scotland. And so I've been telling myself that as much beauty I've seen here, I'm ready to leave. And so what happens when you make that decision or you believe a certain program or a certain decision, then you start to attract things that will reflect that, right? So all kinds of things can happen that validate, yeah, right, okay, so you are done with this place. So anything negative that happens will confirm, okay, this happened because you are done. This is a sign you need to leave. But when you do the healing work to a point where you're no longer in that judgmental space, even if you make a decision, okay, I'm done with this place, my work is done here, I've done so much healing here, it's time to leave, but your heart is still open and you are not judging and you are surrendering to the divine flow of life, then you will still notice the beautiful, magical moments that are presented to you. So as I see this man walking towards me and he's looking at me, and I'm telling you, something like this very rarely would happen in America. I'm not saying it hasn't, but it happens more so here. Even though I have met so many people that are closed-minded, not open to healing, drink a lot, smoke a lot, etc. But then when I have these magical moments, like the one I'm about to share and I'm continuing to share, that's when I remind myself, that's why I came here. That's why I'm still here. That's why I'm so grateful. And I'm only recognizing that because I'm already grateful. So this man with blue hair and a cane walking towards me and I'm eating my chocolate. Can't remember exactly what he said, but he looked right at me and he said, "You're really enjoying that, aren't you?" And I just smiled. Yeah, guilty as charged. And he goes, "Your face says it all." But his comment was just so, it's such a small comment to make, but it was so genuine. And it's like, Once again, such a small thing, but I felt seen, number one, and I was grateful for his vulnerability, number two, and his energy that he was willing to share whatever he witnessed. He didn't have to. He could just be walking by and going, "Oh, that girl's really enjoying her chocolate," and never actually say that. So this is really important because your throat chakra, if your throat chakra is blocked, you're not gonna be able to speak your truth. So you don't realize how powerful words are. Now, words can also be misaligned with your inner truth if your heart chakra is closed. Because, so if your heart chakra is closed, your throat chakra is going to be closed too. So anything you say, people either won't believe or you won't be able to receive true communications from others. So then you're going to think that everyone's lying to you. You're going to think that everyone is whatever because you're not in true alignment with yourself. So you can never discount how powerful words are. So this man choosing to voice what he witnessed when he saw me eating this chocolate has no idea the impact that small, seemingly insignificant comment had on me in that moment. So you never know. You never know what anyone is going through. So you have to be so careful with the words that you choose to communicate with people. Because especially if your words are misaligned and the person that you're communicating with either doesn't know, they're still going to get hurt. Or if it's like a super sensitive empath like me, and they actually can tell that what you're saying to them is in total misalignment with your truth, it's going to have a negative impact. But if that person is powerful enough, powerful, I mean inner power, not like strong, I went to the gym, powerful enough in their truth and done enough healing work where they do not let themselves be affected by your misalignment, then they'll be okay. But because they're so sensitive, they're still going to feel that and it is still going to sting. So words do carry energy. Words do mean a lot. But once again, your energy speaks louder than your words. So if your energy is not in alignment with your words, then you're going to be misunderstood and you're going to continue creating stories that don't exist, and you're going to stay detached from your highest truth. And when you're detached from your highest truth, you are living a lie. You are not living your highest and best potential lifeline. So, once again, I'm a very powerful manifester, and how I got here is by facing all my darkest shadows. It doesn't mean that my work is done. It does not mean, by no means does this mean that I'm perfect. But I can admit and say, I have more work to do. We all are works in progress. Even though I've been a healer since 2019, does not mean that I don't have more work to do. So everybody's on their own path. It all comes down to your personal awareness and your ability to make a decision. Make a decision. I'm going to look at the darkest parts of me. I am going to learn from this. I am tired of running. No amount of vacations, no amount of people, distractions, family, loved ones. How many of us know all these stories where people have happy marriages, children, beautiful home, beautiful careers, and then they end their life? And everybody is shocked. And the comments that we get are, oh my God, if this person is unhappy, what am I supposed to say? Look at the $5 million house they had. Look at the 3 beautiful children they had. So what am I supposed to say? So I should go kill myself too, because obviously this person can't crack it. So how can I crack it when I don't even have a $5 million house or a family? So do you understand what's happening? People are comparing themselves to others and basing their reality based on what other people are experiencing. You do not need to compare. Yes, it's important to have role modeling, and yes, it's important for humans to connect, but it's all about understanding where you are at this point in your life. Are you in a place to where you can look at yourself and say, aha, yes, I admit I've been repeating a pattern. I'm tired of the pattern. I'm tired of running from my shadows. I'm tired of chasing those that are running from their shadows. I'm tired of constantly recreating the same story, meeting the same person in a different bodysuit. And this isn't just personal relationships. This can be in your work, in your whatever, whether you work for someone or you have your own business, it could be with your family. We keep recreating stories in order to heal. How does that happen? You face it. You name the pain, you name the feeling, and you say, it's time for me to go deeper. So for anyone who's tired of the old story and you want to go deeper, comment on this post, whether you're on YouTube, you see this replay, it doesn't have to be live, just comment with, or you can DM me if you don't feel like sharing it in the comments. You can comment with a heart emoji, or you can DM me on Instagram at Heal and Manifest. And I can send you a beautiful guided audio meditation. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And I'll give it a couple more minutes. If any of you still want to have a remote viewing, I've got about 5 minutes left. I can quickly scan your subconscious mind and tell you what is keeping you blocked. So go ahead and just put a heart emoji in the comments, whether on YouTube or Instagram. In the meantime, if you decide to do that, I'm going to just keep this going for a couple more minutes and I'll see if anybody's coming on. If not, we will save this for the next time. Because once again, I know I said it before, it's a Monday. I get it. So remember, you and only you, it is now 11:11 in California, you and only you are responsible for yourself. Not your parents, not your partner, nobody. It may sound harsh when I say that, but once I came to that realization, that is not my mother's job to love me the way I wish she would love me. And I accepted that her way of loving me may not be perfect, but it's the only way she's capable of. And as soon as I released her from that responsibility, and you can say, well, how? Because she's your mother. She's supposed to love you that way. No, the only person who can love you the way you truly, deeply, genuinely wish to be loved is you. And until you realize that, and even if you don't have that realization, but you find that love within yourself without even realizing that's what it was the whole time, it's still going to work. And that's when a major shift happens. When you stop making other people responsible for loving you, for proving your worthiness, for validating your existence, as soon as you do that, major shift happens. Anyone new joining on Instagram, comment with a heart if you'd like me to quickly, remotely view your subconscious mind. 2 more minutes left. If not, send me a DM. I'll send you a free guided meditation. You can also go to my website, healandmanifest.com. And if you would like to work more personally, I'm not doing one-on-ones anymore, but my work is so deep that even in a group setting, it feels like a one-on-one and people have major shifts. If you would like to do that, then you can apply to my Heal and Manifest program. The link is in my IG bio, or you can DM me for the link, or you can comment on this video with a heart emoji and I'll send you the application for my Heal and Manifest program. Anyone else who is interested in learning powerful healing modalities to be able to help not just themselves, but other humans, and to be able to work from anywhere in the world, comment with a heart emoji, or actually this time comment CAA. C as in conscious, A agent, A academy. Conscious Agent Academy. So if you comment CAA, then I can send you an application to apply to my Conscious Agent Academy, where I train you to master powerful healing modalities to be able to remotely view a person's subconscious mind and find the core wounding patterns and release them quickly. For example, I did an hour and a half session for one of my clients, the one-on-one program that I phased out already. It's now group settings only. She has been working with me for quite some time because we've been reprogramming several things. Now, things happen quickly in one session. Chronic conditions healed in one session. But if you're an old soul and you have a lot of stuff to work on, you can continue working on it, especially because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. And what happens is once you start to work on one trauma release and reprogramming, then your subconscious is going to say, right, okay, so let's prepare your conscious mind for more healing now. You released this unworthiness. Well, now you're worthy to manifest more abundance. So let's see what other belief programs are holding you up from that. What other past life trauma where you were punished for speaking your truth, where you felt unworthy, where you felt like you just weren't living your highest and best. Every time you get punished for living your truth, you start to dim your light more and more and more. So if you feel like your light has been dimmed and you don't know how to quite find your light and start shining brighter again, then you need to unlock something on the subconscious level. And so I still have my Heal and Manifest program that's not one-on-one anymore. It is now in group settings. So it's a way for you to reprogram everything and anything to be able to align to whatever lifeline you would like to align to. And then at the time of the interview, when we interview, once you apply, if you ask me, or if I feel like there is an interest for you to actually learn to do this on your own and you are ready to do so, and you would like to be able to live anywhere in the world and travel, like for example, I went to Spain for 3 weeks, I continued to work as long as I have a Wi-Fi connection, my phone to do this Instagram live, my laptop and Zoom, I can continue working. I just had one of my followers send me a message like, that's the life. Because we're having an interview in 2 days for this program. And she said, oh, no, if you're going to be in Italy, we can do this when you come back. And I said, I'm still going to be working. I work wherever I go. I take my work with me. So if you're in a place in your life where you would like to learn powerful modalities to completely not just shift your own life, but to shift the lives of others in a quick way. So I was going to give an example earlier. We did an hour and a half session, many questions, spent some time talking. The last 25 minutes of the session, I did powerful downloads for her, for her subconscious. The next day, her chronic knee pain was gone. We never even addressed it. Her chronic knee pain that she's had for 3 years, gone. So this is just one example. There are several examples like this. What does knee pain have to do with, especially if it's chronic? It has to do with inability to be flexible in life. So you have to ask yourself, what ways have you not been flexible in your life? How have you not been able to adapt to change? And so before, why didn't her knee heal before that? Because there were some surface level programs that we had to still work through, and she was not ready to fully surrender and to start being flexible in life. She was still very rigid in her thinking. So once we did more inner child healing, more heart opening, and she was taking my 8 chakras course and taking care of herself and doing healing for herself, she was able to then release this next layer that was keeping her blocked and giving her physical discomfort, especially every time she went up and down the stairs or she went to the gym. So if you would like to learn how to do what I do, and you can go to my previous IG lives and watch examples of my remote viewing, then comment CAA. And if you still feel like you need to have healing done first, You can still do CAA because I offer you healing for that as well in that program as well. But if you have zero interest in mastering these modalities to help others or yourself and to be able to travel and work from anywhere, and you just want to work on healing yourself, then just comment heal on this post or with a heart emoji, and I'll send you the appropriate application for that. So I do have to run. I thank everyone for watching. I will make sure to link everything on YouTube as well. So I hope to see you on the next live. And if you send me a DM with your email, I'll send you my free guided healing light meditation. So I'm sending you lots of love. Cheers, and I'll see you next time.